Rec League Podcast. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your family, tell your haters. Available on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio Public, Good Pods, Pocket Cast, Breaker, and Stitcher. At Rec League Podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. At Rec League Pod on Twitter. Episode 134. Available now. Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram, or YouTube itself. What up, world? I just watched Fall Guy. It's a new romantic action comedy starring Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Hannah Waddingham, Winston Duke, Stephanie Shu, and Teresa Palmer. It is directed by David Leitch, who, I don't know if it's uncredited, I don't know if it's a co-credit, but he was involved in the direction of John Wick somehow. But on his own, he done Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, Hobbs and Shaw, and Bullet Train. So you got the Ryan Gosling character, Colt Seavers, I think his name is. And he's one of the best stunt guys in Hollywood. Something happens, he disappears for a minute. The dude, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who he normally stunts for, has disappeared. He has to get back in the game and help save the movie directed by the woman he loves, or is supposed to love, or something along those lines, Emily Blunt. I am entertained by a David Leitch directed feature, and I believe it was it's so trippy. Like, I listened to the Smartless podcast that Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes host. They had Emily Blunt on, I'm assuming around a year or so ago-ish, and she was talking about making this movie, and now it's out. It's crazy how time works. But yeah, like Barbie, Oppenheimer, two of those stars now working together. But David Leitch, scatterbrained as usual, you know, he does his own thing. Like, Atomic Blonde had that quirk. I think it's like based off a graphic novel, not really a lot of comedy. And then he does Deadpool 2, and ever since he's had a comedic vibe to all his movies. This one, I feel like, had laughs, but didn't beat you over the head with the comedy. But it also wasn't as action heavy as I would have liked. I loved the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. They were very, very good together. You know, Hannah Waddingham is dope from Ted Lasso. She's pretty good here. Aaron Taylor Johnson, I couldn't tell you if he's ever made a bad movie. And it's so crazy how, like, I know they're supposed to act their stuntman, but it's so crazy how similar Aaron Taylor Johnson and Ryan Gosling look. And movies about movies are dope to me. There's a lot of fun to be had. It just, like, and I hate the comparison, like, but it's all I can do. This movie just didn't pop like Bullet Train, and it just didn't feel as fresh as Bullet Train, as David Leitch's last movie. Like, what have you done for me lately? You're only as good as your last effort, whatever. So, like, the bar was Bullet Train, and Fall Guy is good, it just doesn't meet the bar. There were movie quotes. Like I said, it was cool just like watching a movie about people trying to make a movie. And like I said, the biggest takeaway is that this is fun, this is enjoyable. It just doesn't hit the highs that Bullet Train hit. I personally think the best directed movie David Leitch has done is Deadpool 2. But if you said Bullet Train, I would not argue. So it's kind of fucked up, but it's just his new movie just isn't as good as arguably his best movie. So with all that being said, I will say that in my opinion, The Fall Guy is almost dope. Have you seen The Fall Guy, man? What you think? Positive, negative, somewhere in between? Let me know. I recently put up a review for Challengers, Justice League, Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2. What was before that? Abigail and the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Sure, did all those reviews. Next weekend, I want to watch and review Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And the following weekend, If comes out, Imaginary Friends. I don't know what we're titling it. With Ryan Reynolds, directed by John Krasinski. Looks like fun. It looks like a modern Drop Dead Fred. The Strangers Chapter 1 comes out. Babes comes out. I don't know. At the very least, I'll watch and review If. But, like, we'll see what my theater gets in total. Rec League Podcast, episode 134. We remembered 1994 in film. A lot of great movies. Fun conversation. Go ahead and check that out, man. So like, subscribe, comment. Find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me? Watch these credits. Thumbs up.